OkayFaceTime News. I'm just Julia.
And I'm the all-powerful Ginger.
And here's some news.
Before we get on to the news, here's Bon Fui Fui Shenanay with the weather.
It's dark!
Taking over my goddamn shit! So basically, I have a co-host that I never asked for, and a weather girl who doesn't report on the weather.
Get over it! This is your job!
Here's some news. An Italian gossip magazine owned by former Premier Silvio Berlusconi published a 26-page spread of topless photos of Prince William's wife Kate on Monday, despite legal action in France against the French magazine that published them first. Shy hit newsstands on Monday, featuring a montage of photos taken while the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge were on vacation at a relative's home in South France. The couple is hitting hard against the publication of the images, which William's St. James Palace called a grotesque invasion of their privacy. Later Monday, lawyers for the royal couple are due in court in France to seek an injunction against the Mondadori to prevent further dissemination of the images, which were also reproduced over the weekend by an Irish tabloid.
Poor Cinderella. Cinderella, Cinderella, here's a topless Cinderella. Wait. Hundreds of protesters gathered in Lower Manhattan on Monday to mark the first anniversary of Occupy Wall Street, the amorphous anti-corporate grave movement that began in New York and spread to dozens of cities last year. Activists vowed to shut down Wall Street with plans to create a human wall and block the entrance to the New York Stock Exchange. Hundreds of New York police officers were assembled early Monday in anticipation of the protests. Dozens of officers, some on horseback, blocked off the entrance to the Wall Street to prevent protesters from carrying out their stated mission. There were dozens of arrests. At 10 a.m., a bus full of protesters was carted off by the NYPD, all of them arrested earlier Monday morning. A double-decker bus of sightseers followed closely behind. Several of the arrested protesters were in wheelchairs. One smiled as she was loaded into a police van. At the intersection of Broad and Water Streets of the financial district, activists demonstrated in front of a police truck, raising clenched fists in its direction. Police who barricaded Wall Street checked IDs of employees to let them through. Some protesters used markers to write a telephone number for legal help on their arms, should anyone arrested need it. A small band of demonstrators outside a church performed in a drum line. One held a sign that read, "Sorry, Wall Street is closed today for deconstruction." The anniversary demonstrations began on Sunday with a concert in Foley Square featuring the Rage Against the Machine guitarist Tom Morello. Yeah, I thought it was over too. Horror sequel, Resident Evil Retribution grabbed the top spot at the US and Canadian box office over the weekend, with 21.1 million studio estimates released on Sunday showed. A 3D version of Walt Disney Corporation cartoon Finding Nemo took the number 2 spot in the US and Canadian box office charts with $17.5 million. Of course, Retribution passed Finding Nemo. Why would I pay $13 to watch a movie I've already seen?
It's in 3D!
Great, so I'm $13 poorer and I have a headache. And that's all for today, boys and girls. Shenanay Bon Queequee La Quisha the Third.
Sign us off.
Let's give us a round of applause!